Hey everyone, we're live tonight with a special video going over some news from New York Comic Con 2023. Normally I would cover the news on the Tuesday show, but there's a lot to talk about. I have to split that off into a separate show because it is coming out of a convention, one of the bigger conventions of the year, not in San Diego. So we're going to start out with the DC news. All right. All these things were announced at New York Comic Con this past weekend, and it's all comics news. We're not covering anything other than comics. So we got first out of the gate is Jason Aaron joining Action Comics for a 3-month story called Superman Superstars, along with several other creators. There's the logo for it. And we got some art for it. He'll be teaming with John Timms for a story called I, Bizarro, and that begins in January 2024's Action Comics 1061. Let's take a look at some artwork from that. That's the cover by John Timms. We have a Nathan Serzi cover. Bizarro cover by Paulo Rivera. Another Bizarro cover, this one by Tom Riley. Kari Andrews Bizarro cover. And Chris Pachalo Bizarro cover. We have a Jorge Jimenez cover. That's a cool one. Apparently this book is going to have quite a few covers. This is the Joel Jones cover. This is just art by John Timms for the series. That's a cover for 1064 as part of the arc. And that's Superman Superstars starting in Action Comics in January. Next, we have the return of the DC Elseworlds imprint. I don't know what that means for Black Label, if both will continue, or if Elseworlds coming back means that Black Label is no more. That was not confirmed. We have 6 series being announced for the new or returning Elseworlds imprint. We have some cover art for different Elseworlds books. That's some sequel to Gotham by Gaslight. We have Batman the Barbarian by Greg Smallwood. It's a sequel to Dark Knights of Steel called All Winter. More art from All Winter. DC versus Vampires World War V. That's probably going to be a wraparound cover for World War V. That's by Jeff Spokes. Gotham by Gaslight. The sequel is called Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age. And this is a cover by Leandro Fernandez. Francesco Mattina. That's probably going to be a cover. Green Lantern Dark is another series being announced. And that is by Delerta. More art for Green Lantern Dark. Another series is called Batman Nightfire. That's written and drawn by Clay Mann. And that's all 11 images for Elseworlds cover art gallery. Again, the series starting in 2024, coming out throughout 2024, are going to be Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age. That's by Andy Diggle and Leandro Fernandez, and it'll be 12 issues. That'll take place throughout the whole year, possibly into 2025, depending on when it launches. We have Batman the Barbarian. That's written and drawn by Greg Smallwood. It's a 6-issue series. The medieval Batman story. That's pretty cool. I've been waiting for this one for a while. The Dark Knights of Steel All Winter. This is the sequel to the Tom Taylor Dark Knights of Steel series. This is by Jay Kristoff and Terso Cons, so not by Tom Taylor. That's cool. It's a Deathstroke story. Interesting. So it's a side story. We have Green Lantern Dark by Tate Brombal and Werther Dell'Erda. That's a 7-issue series in an alternate universe. So an alternate universe Green Lantern story. Of course, these are all Elseworlds, so they're all alternate universes. Batman Nightfire. That costume looks a little bit between normal Batman and Azrael. That's a very interesting Batman costume. It's Clay and Seth Mann. It's a 6-issue series. Interesting. Batman time travel story. This one is another sequel I've been looking forward to. It's DC versus Vampires World War V. It's by Matthew Rosenberg and Otto Schmidt. It's a 12-issue series. So instead of splitting the story into 2 mini-series like they did last time, this will be a 12-issue kind of a maxi series. That is all of the series announced for the return of DC Elseworlds. All right. Also returning is out of here. John Constantine, a new Hellblazer miniseries. Returning to the series is Cy Spurrier with art by Aaron Campbell and Jordi Belair. That's interesting, a little bit different take on the art. Very cool. All right, that's not related. Here's some more art for the Constantine series. Looks like some covers. Not credited on these, though. That's an interesting piece of art. Just go back and take a look at the first one real quick. Okay. Very cool. If you're a Constantine fan, we have the last bit of DC news from the convention is Jason Todd Lives. DC will release the alternate version of Batman number 428 from the 80s when Jason Todd was voted to die by the fans in a phone poll. Yes, it was a long time ago. That's going to be interesting for anyone who was reading Batman back in the day or read that story. Let's move on to some Marvel news. All right. The current series by Steve Orlando, Scarlet Witch, is getting a relaunch. It will become Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver starting in February 2024. So issue 9 or 10 comes out this week. So this is likely, the Scarlet Witch series will likely go to issue 12 before the relaunch. 9 this month, 10, yeah, probably issue 12. Same creative team. Have interior art by Lorenzo Tometa, written by Steve Orlando, covers by Russell Dauterman on that series. All right. We have a couple of different trailers for different things coming up. But next is a future version of the Avengers, an alternate reality Avengers tale called Avengers Twilight. This one's interesting. It's written by Chip Zdarsky, who's only writing like 6 books right now. It's a bit crazy, but all of them are good. And this is going to have art by Daniel Acuna. It's a limited series called Avengers Twilight. I love Daniel Acuna's art. So let's flip over to larger view and take a look at the trailer. I don't know if the sound is going to play on this, but we'll see. So let's put me back in there in case it doesn't. It's very cool art. I like it a lot. Always been a fan of Daniel Acuna's art. I'm sure that's playing quite well, but it's motion comics, so. It's pretty neat. What's up, Sage? And anyone, and Sage, can you let me know if you're hearing the audio for the video before I play another one? I don't know if it'll play through the stream. All right, I'll definitely be picking up that book, Avengers Twilight. That's also coming in January 2024. So anything that's coming out in January 2024 will be on FOC next month. Keep an eye out for that. And the Ultimate Universe is returning, and this is taking place after the Ultimate Fallout miniseries. So the Ultimate Universe is back. It's a little different than it used to be. Some new characters. We got the Ultimate Black Panther. This is going to be Black Panther versus Moon Knight. This is written by Brian Edward Hill and drawn by Stefano Caselli. And there's a trailer for the new Ultimate Universe. Let's take a look at that. This is also pretty cool. Got some more Brian Hitch art. I'm not sure if that's Reed or if that's Apocalypse. It looks like Ultimate Apocalypse. There's Doom. Young Iron Man. Or maybe Kang. Jonathan Hickman writing Spider-Man, or Ultimate Spider-Man. For a while, anyway. Peach Momoko is going to be writing and drawing Ultimate X-Men. Very cool. I don't remember either one of those things, Sage. All right, here's some more looks at Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men. This is going to be centered around the character of Armor. I love that cover. Very awesome. I'm on board for at least Ultimate X-Men. I don't know about the other books. I'll take a look at them. Definitely on board for Ultimate X-Men. All right, we took a look at that. We have another trailer here for more Hickman. This is Marvel's Gods. If you didn't pick up number 1, you really should. It was actually really good. So some new characters being introduced, but it's a new take on not only the supernatural, the magic side of the Marvel Universe. Very awesome. Let's take a look at this trailer. We don't want an ad. Surprised that didn't happen before now. All right, here we go. I don't remember the character's name, but this book was pretty good. The art is great. This is Valerio Schiti art. I'm pretty sure this series is going at least 6 issues, if not 12. I don't think it's an ongoing. It should be a good, solid 6 or 12 issue run at least. That's creepy. It's a longer video than I thought it was. Kitty Pryde. Very curious to see where this series goes. Old Doctor Strange. Just in case there's any ads playing on any of these tabs, I'm going to go ahead and close them out. All right. So next is The Fall of the House of X. More Hickman tangentially as he started this run of X-Men, but did step away after the story was established. So at least some chapter of the Krakoa era is ending. Don't know how completely that will be, but this next part of the story is called The Fall of the House of X. This storyline started in 2019, so it has been going on for 4 years now. It's probably a good time to close a chapter and maybe have a new take on some of the characters, but this has been a pretty successful run and a pretty good run, even though it has spun a lot of books. Let's take a look at the trailer for this. No, I wasn't sure. Cyclops. Iron Man Sentinels. That's never a good sign. Using the MCU cut in, sort of. Well, the art looks really cool. I wonder if Pepe Larraz is coming back after he finishes Big Game with Mark Miller. He did do the art for the initial miniseries, or one of them, for this story. And it does look like his art. I believe Magneto is returning. That's still going to be very cool. That story has been very awesome so far. Now, there you go. There's your artists. Also launching in January 2024. So January 2024 is going to be a big month for comics. All right. Next up on the Marvel news is the Spider-Man crossover. And I don't think we're going to watch the trailer on that one. This is Spider-Man Gang War. This is the crossover for Zeb Wells' Spider-Man story. We got cover for Amazing Spider-Man number 41. Looks like John Romita Jr. art, Typhoid Mary. Not sure who that character is. Kind of Beetle character or something. Or John Romita Jr. art. We got Jackpot number 1. That's Mary Jane's superhero identity now. Yes, Mary Jane has powers for now. That's pretty cool. Looks like a cover for Amazing Spider-Man 43. Spider-Man Unlimited. Oh, that must be a digital first book. Wasn't familiar with that, but it features Spider-Boy, and Spider-Man Unlimited number 19 will be a part of the crossover. I'm sure that'll be released in print as well, since it's part of the crossover. All right. Last Marvel item is more X-Men news. There's a Wolverine and Sabretooth crossover called Sabretooth War. It's a very cool Wolverine Sabretooth cover by Lin Yu. And yep, more Lin Yu covers. All right, looks like a flashback to their days as, was it Team X? So this is taking place entirely in the Wolverine series as a 4-part not a crossover, but 4-part story arc. Very cool. Lionel Francis Yu covers. All right, let's move on to Independent to wrap up the show. All right, we have a new imprint at Image Comics called Ghost Machine, featuring so far Jeff Johns, Brian Hitch, Gary Frank. If you liked a couple of the last books that came out in the last couple of years by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, those books will now be under the Ghost Machine imprint, along with books from Jason Fabok, Peter Tomasi, Francis Manapul, and a few other creators, including Brad Meltzer making a comic book return. Interesting. Looking forward to see what he has to release. That's some more Chip Zdarsky news. Chip Zdarsky's series that he was on before starting his Batman run, The All-Nighter, looks kind of Batman-ish, Batman adjacent. I had not read this before. I might check it out, but it's getting a 3rd series to end the story. All right. So if you're a fan of that, you'll get a last chapter. You'll get to have this proper ending. This one's some classic art being released. Steve Dillon's 2000 AD is getting collected. The definitive art of Steve Dillon. That's pretty cool. Steve Dillon was a fantastic artist. A lot of Punisher work as well. And last but not least is some news from Dynamite, partnering with Warner Brothers for some more comics, more licensed comics. We have Thundercats. I thought there were more art to show for that, but I guess not. They'll also be launching at points in 2024 Flintstones, moving over from DC to Dynamite. There's going to be a Powerpuff Girls comic, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, and The Wizard of Oz. All right. That's all for independent news, and that's all I have for the show for you tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with the top 10, Tuesday top 10 picks of the week. Have a great night.